The clock strikes noon on a Monday. You're not rushing out the door. No deadlines. No morning commute. The chaos of 9-to-5's grind is now a memory. For years, you dreamt of this. Retirement. But as the days stretch out like a blank canvas, the question looms: what comes next? Picture this. James, a former software engineer, spent 4 decades solving problems, managing teams, and hitting milestones. On his last day at work, his colleagues gave him a gold watch and heartfelt applause. The next morning, James sat at his kitchen table, coffee in hand, staring into a void he never expected. What now? He thought. Retirement wasn't the victory lap he envisioned. It felt like free fall without a parachute. And James is not alone. Every year, millions step into retirement, believing it's a destination, a prize for years of hard work. But here's a surprising twist. Many retirees find themselves grappling with boredom, loss of identity, and a profound question of purpose. How do you go from being someone to simply being? Take Martha, for example, a retired nurse who dedicated her life to caring for others. She had meticulously planned her finances, but not her days. I didn't realize how much my work defined me, she admits. In the first year of her retirement, she found herself scrolling through TV channels and wondering why she felt so restless. Her story is echoed by countless other people who retire financially ready but emotionally adrift. But before we dive deeper, let's pause and explore a critical truth about retirement. Psychologists have found that retirement is not a one-size-fits-all experience. For some, it's liberation. For others, it's an existential reckoning. The ancient Greeks had a word for this stage of life: eudaimonia, meaning human flourishing. Retirement is not just about rest. It's about reimagining yourself. Take a moment to think about Sylvia. At 68, Sylvia was a widowed teacher who had spent decades shaping young minds. After retiring, she felt an aching void. She began volunteering at a local literacy program and discovered something profound. She could still make an impact. Sylvia didn't retire from life. She rewrote her story. And her story reveals something crucial. Retirement is less about stepping away and more about stepping into. But let's not sugarcoat it. The journey isn't always smooth. For David, a retired firefighter, the transition was brutal. I miss the adrenaline, the camaraderie, he confesses. Feeling untethered, he spiraled into depression. Then one day, a friend invited him to join a cycling group. David hesitated. He wasn't an athlete. But that first ride changed everything. He found a new tribe, a new challenge, and, ultimately, a new sense of self. This is where the science of purpose comes into play. Studies show that retirees who engage in meaningful activities, whether it's a hobby, volunteering, or even part-time work, report higher levels of happiness and lower rates of depression. Purpose, it seems, is the secret ingredient to a fulfilling retirement. Consider the remarkable case of Harlan Sanders. At 65, he faced a bleak reality. Social Security barely covered his expenses. But Sanders wasn't ready to fade quietly. With nothing but a chicken recipe and boundless determination, he hit the road. By the time he turned 88, Colonel Sanders' Kentucky Fried Chicken had become a global phenomenon. His story is a testament to reinvention, proof that age is just a number when it comes to pursuing dreams. And let's not forget the wisdom of cultures that view aging differently. In Okinawa, Japan, home to some of the world's longest living people, there's no word for retirement. Instead, they have ikigai, meaning a reason for being. For Okinawans, purpose doesn't retire, it evolves. Elders tend gardens, mentor younger generations, and contribute to their community. Their ikigai isn't just the secret to a long life. It's the secret to a joyful one. Now, let's bring it closer to home. Imagine John, a retired accountant who always dreamed of traveling. In his first year of retirement, he visited 15 countries and snapped thousands of photos. But over time, he realized that ticking off destinations wasn't as fulfilling as sharing his experiences. So John started a blog, documenting his travels and inspiring others to explore. He didn't just find joy in seeing the world, he found purpose in connecting with it. The stories of James, Martha, Sylvia, David, Harland, and John highlight one universal truth: retirement is not an end. It's a beginning. It's a chance to rediscover passions, nurture relationships, and leave a legacy. But it requires intentionality. Without a plan, retirement can feel like an endless weekend fun at first, but eventually hollow. So how do you plan for a fulfilling retirement? Start by asking the right questions. What makes you come alive? What have you always wanted to do but never had the time? What skills or wisdom can you share with others? And most importantly, what does purpose look like for you? It's also essential to embrace change. Retirement isn't static. Your interests, health, and circumstances will evolve. Flexibility is key. Maybe you'll write a book, learn to paint, mentor young professionals, or even start a new career. The possibilities are endless as long as you remain open to them. And don't underestimate the power of community. Isolation is one of the greatest threats to retirees' well-being. Surround yourself with people who inspire and support you. Join clubs, take classes, or simply reconnect with old friends. Human connection is not just nice to have, it's a lifeline. As we near the end of this journey, remember this: retirement is not a conclusion. It's an open-ended story waiting to be written. Whether you're planting a garden, building a business, or mentoring a young mind, your best chapters may still lie ahead. So, when the time comes to hang up your work boots, don't ask, "What now?" Ask, "What's next?" Because the end of one road is often the beginning of another. And the question isn't whether life after retirement can be fulfilling. The question is, how will you make it extraordinary?